That, of course, is David Bowie as alter rock ego Ziggy Stardust, a character he assumed in the early 70s when he helped transform rock into glam rock. Snapshots of Bowie's rock career and life, as taken by photographer Mick Rock, go on display this weekend at Seattle's MoPOP Museum. And Mick joins us now. Mick, you are so welcome to our studio.
Thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me here so I can punt this show for Mr. Allen.
You are often referred to as the man who shot the 70s.
Yes.
You probably have to go through this all the time, but we talk about the iconic images of David Bowie, but there are so many others that you have shot. The list goes on and on. I could spend 4 minutes just running down the list. But let's talk about Bowie and this exhibit at MoPOP.
Yes. Well,
what is it?
It's an exhibition of photographic prints from that particular period. I did photograph David at other times, but everybody wants Ziggy Stardust, So, so what are you going to do? And I also did just before he died, we did a beautiful book for Taschen, a limited edition one that we co-signed, and now it's available in commercial form. And that kind of kicked off a whole series of Bowie exhibits, and specifically from this period. I think the interesting thing for me is, even just looking at this show, is the sheer variety of imagery that I have. Well, he, in fact, in that 21-month period when I photographed him as Ziggy, I actually have him in 73 different outfits.
Wow.
So he was on the move. He was blistering.
What was he like as a photo subject? Did he tell you, this is what I'm going to do, or did you tell him?
No, he'd say, what do you want me to do, Mick? No, he's very easy, very comfortable. And if you check the show out, or you check the Taschen book out, you'll see how much leeway he gave me. But we were young. It was kind of organic. We didn't even discuss that aspect. I just took pictures, and I took loads of pictures backstage, and some in his undies, a lot of him making himself up, and and some of him, I love the ones, I don't even know if there are any in the show like that, where he's sitting backstage, and you can see it's very mundane. Remember, this is relatively early in his career, and he's not playing big venues, and he's maybe, you can see an ironing board and an iron and an ashtray, and he's sitting back looking completely ridiculously exotic, and he's having a fag, or he's having a drink out of a cardboard cup. I think, and there is a very famous pictures of him and his guitarist Mick Rock sitting on a train, having a British Rail lunch, because he wouldn't get in airplanes in those days. He was sure if he got in an airplane, he was going to crash. And I mean, whatever. In fact, when he went to Japan, he traveled overland. He traveled through Russia, right up. I mean, later on, of course, he had no option but to be comfortable flying, because he got so, well, he was so in demand for so many years of his amazing career. But he was a very sweet guy.
How did you make the connection? How did you end up taking photos of him?
Well, it wasn't so hard to get to him, even though he wasn't so well known. And I, in those days, in those early days, I was 72, I'd only picked up a camera in 69 when I was still a student.
Oh, jeez. Seriously.
But it was different times, and there weren't how many outlets that were there for the photographs. Mostly the music press, maybe an album cover. I mean, there was nothing like we have today, where there's so many outlets. Now, back in those days, everyone wanted a big guitar player. Nowadays, everyone wants and can be a photographer. And but I'd done a couple of things for a magazine, and I said, this guy looks interesting, and I loved this Hunky Dory album. And I went up to Birmingham Town Hall, 400 people in the audience, went backstage, met him. The next day I went to his home on the outskirts of London and interviewed him. And I think and I did more than one. I probably did that 3 or 4 times over that period. And like I say, it was a way of making an extra bit of money. And but I think that was what sealed the deal with us, because one, he seemed to like the photographs, but 2, we got to exchange ideas,
Right.
philosophies.
And that connection must have been amazing.
Well, it wasn't just the photographic. There was, there was a brain connection as well. But then I came up with a certain session, probably in the April, which wasn't long after I'd met him, and I shot the pictures at his home. And he, there's one in particular that people will probably know of him, Bowie in the Mirror. And I'm sure if you see it, I don't know if it's popping up on the screens here, maybe not, but it is in the exhibition. And that was the session where he said to his manager, Mick sees me the way I see myself. Now, I couldn't quite figure out what he meant, but it sounded good, and it definitely was the session that he was comfortable with having me around.
Yeah, it launched a beautiful relationship and a wonderful career. That's great. That's
just
for sure.
amazing. Well, and we're going to have, I know you did a piece with Evening Magazine, and we'll have much more on Evening Magazine with you as well, but I look forward to actually checking this out. We thank you so much for coming in and sharing part of your story with us anyway.
Thank you.
That's
He's very
awesome.
good looking though, isn't he,
So
He's
attractive.
probably older than he looks, but nevertheless. And he's tall.
Yes, he is. Thanks again.
Have a
Thank you,
good
Mick.
one, guys.